What's good? All right, Bert. What's going on, man? Miami Snoopy, what's going on, man? Dre's finest. What's good with you this morning? Hope all is well with everybody. Uh, Let me hit this mute real quick because I got two sounds on. But look, man, let's chop it up today, man. It was a really good conversation on Trail Boxing Talk. Always enjoy Trail Boxing Talk, especially enjoy it when you hear things like the subject that they were talking about before they went off. And I'm unabashed about the fact that I will jump on a topic that they just had, even if I felt like talking about some other things, man, because Black Fight Fan TV does an excellent job at structuring his show and making sure that he addresses a lot of the points that are really important in boxing at the moment. So I wanted to continue. I was thinking, man, I just continue on with that topic, man, because I was experiencing a little bit of that today on Twitter. Because, man, people think black folk are stupid, man. Like, it's amazing. But I'll wait till we get a little bit further into this, man, and tell you what happened on Twitter today. Like, who was there? I know somebody was there on Twitter with me today, man. A couple of you cats that follow me on Twitter. Man, I was talking to this guy. According to his Twitter feed, he's an attorney and he must be connected with the boxing, clearly, because of the subject matter that he talked about. But I would listen to this dude. I was going back with this guy and thinking to myself, man, you really think I'm stupid? Like, such rookie, like, it's something that I would never do in an argument, because I know if somebody was talking to me that they would expose me every time I did it. But hey, man, she's Louise, dude, just kept walking into it over and over again, dog. TZ Frank said, I saw that on Twitter. I was reading but not commenting. Yeah, man, look, dude, that is what you call just a dude that's up there lying. Like, I was like, man, really? Dude, and I know if you listening, because I think I have a suspicion after you took that ass whooping that you were listening, that you would be listening. Dog, don't ever do that to me. Don't ever do that to me, dog. Ever try to pull that crap with me, man. I tell you people, and I'm going to tell you again, I'm going to tell you, and I've been on YouTube for 3 years. I've been doing this for at least, I got to this point at least 10 years ago. You will not beat me in an argument, even if you're not on your stuff. You can't beat me in an argument, even if you're right. He said, Fanon, about to jump on the plane, had to hit that like, though. That's what's up, main event, Mark. Let me tell you what happened, man. Said, salute from North Philly. I saw the final press conference, and Fury and Wilder won that press conference. He shut Fury up in a bad way. Yeah, well, let's get into Tyson. What's going on, Justin Marks? What's loving that super chat? Yeah, Tyson Fury walked out with a busted lip and sunglasses. Did anybody see Tyson Fury outside of those sunglasses? Did anybody see Tyson Fury with those sunglasses off? Because he had like women's sunglasses on that like covered his whole face, and he had a bust lips. Dre's fine said, black people think blacks are gullible. I ride with my peeps. Look, man, this is what happened in the conversation, man. Oh, Donald, the 6-year-old G Grant says, salute for Nana Don. My cursing day is tomorrow. Who you need me to curse out? Oh, dog, you don't have to curse a dude out. I was just sitting there in amazement, man. Because this is what I think happened. That wasn't a busted lip. That was a herpes outbreak. Could have sworn I saw a slit in that middle, man. His dealer probably roughed him up. He had that busted lip for 4 days, and the other day I thought he had on makeup. Oh, yeah, he's definitely got a busted lip, though. Definitely has a busted lip. Tyson Fury looks like he had a rough night with the hook. Cats ain't gonna let him go with that coke, huh? 78 Sports said, my bad. We went way over. Ain't no worries, man. It's all good. I was enjoying the conversation, 78, because I think a lot like you. And I think you're absolutely right. The only thing that I would say is different. Like, I never use the phrase white privilege because I think that's a hard term to defend. Because I'll tell you why I say that. I never use the word, I never say white privilege because it doesn't really get to the fact, to what the issue is. And I've had this because I talk to guys that are like, I talk to black dudes that are mega conservative. I've talked to white people that have said, we've had this conversation that are, like totally reject the idea. And whenever I mention that, see, I like to state things in a way where I can get my point across and you can't refute it. So when I say, if you say white privilege, somebody can say, okay, what's my privilege? Right? What's the privilege? Tyson Fury is an excellent boxer. Tyson Fury came over to the United States. He got a big contract because he's one of the best world boxers in the world, right? And so you could go through all of the accolades and all the things Tyson Fury has done to deserve what he has. And then you could turn around and say, that is not a privilege. He earned it. And that's very difficult to overcome. But if you frame it this way, Tyson Fury's not privileged. He's being treated the way that he should be treated. Deontay Wilder is being mistreated because he having not done the things that Tyson Fury did, Deontay Wilder was a champion before Tyson Fury was. Deontay Wilder has defended his championship and held that championship for 5 years, defended it 10 times. He has never dropped that belt. He's never failed to represent the WBC to a high standard. But yet you still can't find a way to give the man the credit that he deserves. You still discount everything that he does, no matter what it is. The man can't even speak without you guys going bananas. I heard Tyson Fury misspeak all through his comments, but Deontay Wilder says 6 foot inch nails. Oh, he's trying to sound so smart. Ha, look what he says. He says 6 foot inch nails. You don't understand what he meant? That he's going to get 6-inch nails in a coffin and put your ass 6 feet deep? That's what he meant. You know what he meant. So why are you tripping? You know what he meant. Just like you know what Tyson Fury meant. He's not saying something that you don't understand. You're trying to find a way to nitpick and insult his intelligence, even though diction is not intelligence. That is the region that you're from. Period. So for me, the issue is not that Tyson Fury is treated in a certain way. It's the mistreatment. It's the mistreatment and the disparate standards that Tyson Fury lives under and Deontay Wilder lives under. That is why I don't use the word privilege, because I think anybody that does what they're supposed to do and is expert at their career deserves to be rewarded. That shouldn't be being treated fairly is not a privilege. It should be a right. Or if it's not a right, it's an expectation. If you do what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to be treated in a manner. You're supposed to be treated and get the rewards from your effort. That's what everybody says is the quote unquote American way. But we know that that is not the case. We know that Tyson Fury was treated very, very well. And we also know that Deontay Wilder has not been treated very, very well. That's the issue. And focusing it on Deontay Wilder and the mistreatment of Deontay Wilder, the mistreatment of black fighters by and large, is where the focus is. When I talk about it, that's where the focus that I place it. Because then I don't have to deal with what's going on with Tyson Fury and whether or not Tyson Fury did this or did that. Yeah, he did everything. He deserved all of that. And since Tyson Fury deserved all that, Deontay Wilder deserves more because Deontay Wilder has done more. So if you're willing to do all those things for Deontay Wilder, for Tyson Fury, then where is your praise if you're willing to do all that for Tyson Fury, then where's your praise for Deontay Wilder? You all cover up the fact that you are grossly inequitable. You are grossly unfair. That you have two separate standards for people based on how they look, based on where they're from, based on the community that they come from. And it is obvious to everybody with eyes, including you. And you just want to justify it. Period. Much love in that super chat, 78. I appreciate you, man. Only one Tyson Fury. That's right. There is only one Tyson Fury. So what? There's only one Deontay Wilder. There's only one real rap. There's only one Kennedy Linder. No, I'm not interested in wordplay, man. I'm not interested in wordplay. Don't be goofy with me. Okay? Because I don't do it. If you're going to say something, and that's my message to you, sir, that came to on that Twitter and got beat up on that Twitter thing. Don't play games with me, man. Don't play games. I know all the games. I know all the games. Do not try to throw out straw man arguments and rephrase what I said. What I told you, dummy. And let me talk to you like a boy now. What I told you, dummy, is that to say that that Ring Magazine champion is more valid than a sanctioning bodies champion is silly. And if you took the same scenario and put it in the context of the NBA, an NBA fan, if you told the NBA, we don't need the NBA's champion, I want the ESPN champion, everybody would look at you like you are stupid. So for you to tell me that a magazine is the one that tells me who the champion is in boxing is just as silly as you telling me that because Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, and whoever they else got on NBA all get together in a room and vote on who the NBA champion should be based on what they thought happened in the regular season, you would sound like an idiot. And you sound like an idiot. But what you try to do is you try to reframe what I say and make it something else. You try to change it from an analogy, which was communicating an idea, a meaning from one situation by illustrating it in another that is radically different. At no point in time, and no reasonable person would have inferred that I said that the boxing needs to have the same structure as the NBA. I never said that, NBA would be better off if it was run like the WBC. Only an idiot or a liar, and you're a liar, only an idiot or a liar would infer that that's what I meant. Don't play, man, because I'm not going to go down that road with you, homie. All I'm going to do, because like I told you, you cannot beat me, is I will say that is a straw man argument. I will define and provide examples for what a straw man logical fallacy is. Anybody that is interested in understanding it can look at what you said and what I said and know that's what you did. And as soon as they recognize it, you lose all credibility with them. If you try to change the subject on me, dummy, I'm going to call it a red herring. And I'm going to show examples of what a red herring is and how you changed the subject from Ring Magazine not having a valid champion to whether or not the transatlantic ranking systems are better than the ranking systems of the WBC, and whether or not the transatlantic, who do they have conflict of interest? And what was the other nonsense you said, dummy? You said, oh, like taking payments. Oh, like WBC takes payments from from promoters. So what? What does the NBA, what does the WBC taking money, sanctioning fees from promoters have to do with whether or not Ring Magazine should be naming champions? Nothing. That's called a red herring. You change the subject ever so slightly and invite the person to go down your rabbit hole. That's what a red herring is. A red herring is out there, it distracts you, and then you go run over there. No, son, I'm not going to do that for you. And then you proceeded to fallacies of equivocation, redefining words as if analogy and equating mean the same thing. They do not, homie. They do not. Let me repeat this for you dummies that want to come talk to me. I will beat you in a debate even if you're right. And if you're wrong, I'll slaughter you. If you play games with me, I will embarrass you. Period. And I won't do anything but let you step on your own sword. It's a different level here, sir. It's a different level. And I don't care who sent you to talk to me. It's a different level over here. I will name your lie and provide an example for it. It's a different level, sir. It's a different level. Now, we ended our conversation with me telling somebody the next fallacy that you were going to use. I said to someone, ha, 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 this is what he's going to do next. Wait and see. I said, you started off with a red herring. You started off with the scarecrow. You started off with the straw man. You made an argument that I never made and then started a debate about something I never said. That was your first move. The second move is you tried to change subjects. That was your red herring. The third one, after I said that, I was like, now I predict the next one is going to be correlation equals causation. But you jumped over that because I told you about it, and you went straight for fallacy of equivocation and redefined the meaning of an analogy. And what does this have to do with Deontay Wilder? You don't realize that you're not as good as me until you got all the way down the hole. You thought you could read something and you thought you had me. And you turned out looking like a straight up amateur. Counselor, Mr. Esquire, you came out looking like a bozo. You know you look like a bozo. I know you look like a bozo. Anybody reading that knows you acted like a bozo. And you jumped all the way to universals. Is anybody familiar with the transatlantic ranking system? Oh, it's still up there on Twitter. Go read through it. You'll learn. I told you, people said I need to do a YouTube video. I could do a Patreon on logical fallacies, how to recognize them, how to respond to them. All I would say is you don't have to respond to them. You just acknowledge them. You just tell him that's what he's doing. And he has to stop and shift to another one. But people get away with it so often that they don't know. They literally think they really don't recognize what they're doing because they're just debating. They're just arguing. They want to win a point. They just want to win a point. But they're not very good at it. Or there's a lot of people that aren't very good at it. Most people that are really good at it, though, they just know to shut up. Don't stick your chin out there, dude. Don't stick your chin out there. It's going to get turned. But I was interested. But what does this have to do with Deontay Wilder? It's the same situation with Deontay Wilder, man. These people do not want to see what this man accomplished. It is like a negative. Like I said yesterday, it's a negative hallucination. What's going on, Esco 2-time? It's a negative hallucination. You don't see what's right in front of you. You don't see what's right in front of you because you don't want to see it. They don't see that Tyson Fury is being treated in a different way because they don't want to see it. Because to see it creates, you know what they talk about with cognitive dissonance, because it creates cognitive dissonance in their mind. They are like, I am right. I am right. He is wrong. That's where they start. Oh, Shamboy Me said that's why you shouldn't debate with a wordsmith, a lawyer. You're gonna lose. No, the dude was a lawyer. I told you they sent a lawyer. No, I didn't clarify that. Them clowns sent a lawyer at me. Like I wouldn't bash him too. That's what I was like, really? Another one of them? I'd eat you dudes dude, I get paid to eat you all up. I get paid to bust you up. It's fun to bust these kids up. I literally get hired to bust people like you up. And you're easy money. Been easy money. Been easy money. No, dude, the dude wasn't a lawyer. He was a lawyer. He felt real comfortable. He even has his law firm. He has the name of his law firm up there. Personal injury. Man, go chase your fucking ambulance somewhere else, homie. Okay? Not the kid, Holmes. Not the kid. I get paid to beat you guys. Boxing is a hobby. I make my living busting you up. God, dog, man. Come on, man. They went from Dan Rayfield and Steve Kidd. They went from like little itty bitty trolls, dog. They went from like the itty little bitty trolls, like those dudes. You know, like the little dudes you just bust off real easy. Like you just dust them off. Like you don't even really want to talk to them. You just let them sit there and talk and sound like an idiot. They went from that to, you know, some more of your sophisticated guys trying to go at me through third-party troll channels who were terrible, to having a guy that has to be associated with the transatlantic ranking system to take my tweet and try to clown me. Oh, he a big personal injury. Big one, too. A big one. See, because here's the thing, man. The law is about rules. Not all these guys are necessarily don't make dialectics and legal representation. Although one is related to the other, one is used in the other, does not mean that one who's an expert in one does the other. They're not necessarily the same. They are not completely connected to one another. That's rule-based. The practice of law is by and large rule-based. I already gave you it. You have an issue, you have a rule, you have an application, you apply the facts to the rule, right? Draw a conclusion as to whether the rule solves the issue. That's it. But that is not related to the logical structure of an argument and whether or not where you're trying to get to the truth of an argument, where you're in the search for the truth. Because when you are having a conversation with somebody or a debate with somebody, what the kernel of it is that you should be trying to look for the truth. You're looking for the truth. So when you see things that people do that are not designed to get to the truth, they are fallacies. They are fallacious. Because your goal is to play a trick on the other person. It's to distract the other person. It's to confuse the other person or to distract or confuse the people that would be judging what truth actually is. They engage in that. That is dialectics. That is not the law. They are two different things. But they don't see. So this is a hobby, man. This is a hobby. Don't come to me. I'm telling you. I tell that to everybody. I've been telling that to people for years, and yeah, I'm on my bump a little bit. Dog, don't come to me with that. Go to somebody else. Go, because you got to be good. You got to be really good. And the only way that you can be really good is by being right and by being honest. That's why BFTB brushes off so many of those little dudes like that. He brushes them off easy. You know why? Because he has the information. If you don't have the information, then you can't defend your point. You could be right about what you believe, but you could never prove it based on the objective fact because you do not know them. However, if you know the facts and I know the facts, and you have a different conclusion than I have, then it's only honesty that will get you through without fault, will get you there. If somebody is being fallacious and playing tricks and you can recognize those tricks, they will lose because they will lose all credibility with the people that are listening to them. Because most times people are not having conversations to convince one another. They are having conversations to convince somebody else. If you are talking to your father and you are arguing back and forth, you're arguing to convince your father. Your father ain't arguing to convince you. So all your playing games and all that shit ain't going to matter for nothing, because at the end of the day, it's only the truth that is going to get you to convince your dad, because you have no leverage over him. If it's two employees arguing to the boss, they're not arguing between each other. They're arguing to convince that boss. But if that boss, or if your father catches you in a lie or catches you in a trick, then they're going to look at everything else you say under a light of suspicion. You guys are rank amateurs, man. Don't ever come to me again, man. Don't ever. Please do not, dog. Trust me. Do not. And I'm talking about with this. I'm not talking about any hands. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about with this. Trust and believe. This is not easy money. This is not easy money. This is difficult. And you, sir, were a joke. And anybody that read that knows you're a joke. And let me tell you one last thing that somebody does. Let me help you out for the next time you come around. I'm going to help you out with the next thing you come. I'm going to help you out for the next time you come around. The only time I say never is when somebody asks me if they should say never. The only time I say always is when somebody asks me whether or not I should say, whether I should avoid saying always. When you said that the transatlantic boxing ranking system has no conflict of interest at all, I knew you're a liar or engaging in gross exaggeration. I don't even have to know them to know that there's a conflict of interest, because there's two people in the room. Your interest is what you want your opinion to be represented. Their interest is themselves. Whenever you have two people in the same room, there's going to be a conflict of interest. The question is whether or not you can, in an ethical fashion, find a middle ground, and whether or not you are willing to do things which are immoral or unethical to overcome that conflict of interest. When a boxing writer needs to have access to fighters in order to write boxing articles, and they sit on a board that has a ranking system and they get a vote, they have a conflict of interest. They have an interest in having relationships with boxers, and they have an interest in giving an honest and truthfully their opinion of what they think about the fighter vis-a-vis other fighters. That is a conflict of interest anytime you have a journalist involved in ranking people at all. That's a conflict of interest. But the question is, do you have safeguards in place to manage that conflict of interest? And is that conflict of interest something that has been acknowledged? And is it something that has been managed? But for you to say that there is none at all, that is a universal and something you cannot prove and you could not possibly know unless you are God Almighty. You do not know what every interest of every person that works for the Boxing Transatlantic Organization has. You do not know every single solitary one of their interests. So how could you possibly know if there is no conflicts of interests? But that again is because you're a rank amateur. If you were about your business, you would have never said that to me. Ever. Ever. Rank amateur, man. Go deal with other people with that. You're not going to rephrase what my opinion is and tell me that I said something that I didn't mean. Because here's the thing. When you misunderstand, when I say something and you have a different understand, and I say it in a way that makes you believe that I thought something. Once you come to me and say, this is what I think you thought, Fanon, this is what you meant, Fanon, and I say, no, that's not what I meant. And I give you a clarification. The second I give you a clarification, you can never go back to debating me about what you think I thought, because I clarified it for you. The only way that you wouldn't accept my clarification is if you think that I'm lying and that I really meant that, but now I'm changing my mind. But even then, you have to deal with the fact that I changed my mind. You cannot deal with the original assertion because the correction is there. Gotta love it, man. Nah, but I know I need to let it go, but I would volunteer that today. Because I like to do things. I have to do things that I love and talk about things that I want to talk about. Right. And it got me when 78 and Black Fight Fan TV were talking about that, because I felt the same thing. I was like, the only reason this dude would try that shit on me is because you think I have a low IQ. It was the low IQ conversation that got me. Because me, every time I hear that, it's a joke to me. It's a joke. I don't have one of those. That's not my problem. I've got a lot of problem. What's that saying? I got 99 problems, but a low IQ ain't one. Black people got a lot of problems. Being stupid generally is not one. Not having enough resources is one. Not having a lot of self-respect is one. Not having a structured environment that's designed and focused towards achieving specific goals is one. Lack of training is one. Low intelligence is not one. In fact, it's the fact that kids have very high IQs or are very intelligent that lead them into paths that will cause them problems. I know that might be hard for you to get your head around because you dummies always associate intelligence with success, but it doesn't usually work that way. What it usually works is conformity equals success. By and large, conformity equals success because you do what people want you to do when you want them to do it, how you want them to do it. That typically in our systems leads to success because your performance is repeatable and predictable. By definition, creativity is not predictable. It's not predictable. It's not conforming. It is doing things that are outside of the norm. Black people's problems are not low IQs. Just had to stop watching the British reporter who just said he expected Wilder Fury to do 2 million pay-per-view eyes. Most ever by a heavyweight. What do you see the fight doing? I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you, man. A lot of money. A lot of money. I have, because today I'm strictly talking about things that are factual today, dog. Said that's my life problem. Too smart, can't conform. Dude, there's a book called God, what is it, man? It's a book by Malcolm Gladwell. And Malcolm Gladwell talks about that. He talks about in the book, he follows a bunch of these guys that all have these high IQs, and they're like, how many of these guys are really successful in life? And it's not a lot of them. Because they have a hard time conforming to people. They have a hard time conforming. They have a hard time doing tasks that are assigned in a predictable and repeatable way. Because they're creative. And they often have problems with coaches. They have problems with teachers because they don't need them as much. My dad brought up an excellent point last night about basketball players. And he said, he was like, look, man, I love my dad, man. My dad is a really bright guy. He said, look, talented players always have problems with coaches because the coaches say, do it this way. And the player says, oh, you mean do it this way? Whoop, 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 and do it just like they want it. Or they say, hey, pass through the press. And the player's looking at him like, the goal is to get to the basket. I can get past all three of these guys. Why would I do that? If I pass it to him, they have a bigger chance of intercepting my pass than me just going by him. So let me just go by him and lay it up. We wanted 2 points, right? Right, coach? I just got 2 points. Coach says sit on the bench. Coach says sit on the bench. If you're not going to do what I tell you to do, somebody else is going to get in here and do what I tell them to do. Period. Conform or get out. Conform or get out. But see, with Magic Johnson, when the money gets into it, then the bosses are looking like, coach, you got a job. And they come to see they pay me to see Magic Johnson. They don't pay me to watch you coach. Sit your ass down or get the entire fuck out. That's a relationship between the coach and the boss that allows that to. That's a coach-owner relationship. The owner is not confused. My job is to get money. You are getting in the way of that crap by sitting Magic Johnson down. You see all these people in the benches? They did not come to see Kurt Rambis. Sit down, shut up, or I'm going to hire somebody else. And that coach says, yes, a boss. Or he goes coaches somewhere else. He said, I feel like an assembly line bot when I conform. Yeah, that's not easy to do. Focus boss, that's my life problem. Too smart to conform. Oh, and I got my man CRB on that one. I hope the outcome is definitive one way or the other, not decided by a technicality like a cut, then going back to the scorecards. Hey, man, personally, I want Deontay to Wilder to win. I don't care how it happens. Tyson Fury can walk in and blow his knee out. He can walk out, blow his knee out, walking into the ring. I'll take it. Get your ass out of here, man. Give me my money and get out. As long as he steps into the ring, he could twist both of his ankles and his knee before he throws his first punch. Legs swell up like balloons. I wouldn't care. Get your ass out of here. Okay? Give me the money and get out of here. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care. I like Tyson Fury though, but Tyson Fury is a really good fighter, man. He's a very, very good fighter. What he gets, he earned. I will say that. What Tyson Fury gets Tyson Fury has earned. Obasi Kamari said, Ruiz versus Ortiz, what you think? Ortiz. Ruiz is going to let his hands go and get his ass knocked out. That's what I think. But it could be a good fight, but I'll take Ortiz over Ruiz. Oh, no. Fury is a great fighter. He's just annoying. Yeah, he's a great fighter, man. He's a great fighter, and he's got a chance to win, you know? And the thing that like I said, man, I'm living in a world of objectivity right now. And by that, I mean, I'm living in what I can see. Okay? I'm not being like objective. Like I'm considering what you think and what he thinks, and I'm just trying to be impartial. I don't mean objective in the sense of impartial. I mean objective as in what's happening. The fact of the matter is my dude Deontay Wilder about to walk in that ring and get $20 million. I'm happy. Okay. I'm the only UK fan who wants Wilder to win. And that it should be that way. It should be that way. There's no problem whatsoever with people from the UK wanting to support Tyson Fury. There's no problem. I don't have any problem with that, man. No problem like that. But like said, what's going on, Daniel Stanley? Much love in that super chat, man. I have no problem with people from Pacquiao, Wilder. Who you got? Oh, I'll go with I'll go with Deontay on that one. I want Deontay to catch a body so bad in this one. Hey, man. I'll leave that alone. CRB, much love in that super chat, man. He said British media flew 11 hours to Vegas, spent thousands of dollars of their company, did cover the fight, and it isn't known here. How insane they sound. Oh, man, look, dude, those guys are clowns, man. Just whatever, man. These guys are clowns, man. They're clowns, man. You're the clowns. Period. Clowns. You guys are, and I mean, you crack jokes. I laugh at you. You're irritating, but I literally look like God dog, man. Like I have something hanging out there. I've got a hypocrisy hanging out there. I thought about it the other day. I was like, damn. Oops. I got a hypocrisy hanging out there. And I hate it. I hate it. And trust me, it's related to a boxer. I hate that I have it there. I hate that I have it. But I have it. But you know what? Ain't nobody caught me on it yet. So I'm going to spend my time well ahead of any conversation that I might have with somebody, fixing it. Piece by piece. Breadcrumb by breadcrumb. Because I realized I contradicted myself. They don't do that. They just contradicted. They don't think about what they're saying, contradict something that they've said before. And once they make the contradiction, they don't want to fix it. They want to ignore it. I will super chat. I will cash app anybody who can tell me the contradiction that I made and who it was about. And a certain fan base would love it. But you won't get me. But you won't get me, dog. It was like the time that my hand wasn't up. Like, ooh, oops. They didn't see that though. Dang, they didn't see that. Wow, they didn't see it. What's going on? Muhammad is the one. Said this is the perfect fight. What's a? Oh, I'm sorry, I lost. The contradiction was about Tyson Fury. No, I've been very, very solid about Tyson Fury. No, I'll tell you what it was. Okay, I'll tell you what it was. Ron Finkley, close. You were on the right subject matter, dog. Right, it is a Clarissa Shields, Cecilia Brækhus, Hypocrisy. Now, is it a hypocrisy or it's a contradiction? It's a contradiction. I contradicted myself. And the contradiction is between Floyd Mayweather Jr., Muhammad Ali, Clarissa Shields, and Cecilia Brækhus. It is at least something that people could use if they really wanted to. And I'll explain what it was. I've said every time I mess with Floyd Mayweather, they're like, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the greatest fighter, the TBE. And I'm like, nah, if you can't whoop somebody, I don't want to hear you talking about you the greatest ever. If I can think of somebody you can't whoop. So with Clarissa Shields, there's a chance that she could whoop everybody that has fought as a woman because she's big enough, right? Could she beat Ann Wolfe? There's a chance. There's a chance. There is a chance that she could do that. And so but do I think that about Cecilia Brækhus? She's 147 pounds. I don't know if she could beat. I don't think she's big enough to beat Ann Wolfe. Where I think Clarissa Shields is big enough to do it. But here's my out. I never said Cecilia Brækhus was the greatest of all time. But there's still a contradiction there that's nagging at me. It's nagging at me. So I just have to stick on the fact that she only got 9 fights and wake me up because she hasn't accomplished more. See what I mean? I have to give that to you guys because none of y'all caught me. None of you caught me on it. None of you caught me on it. I had to just give it to you. It's not fun being me, dog. 85% of Twitter fingers receive hearsay information. Oh, for sure. For sure. Drew Hines said, Fanon Fury shot his low. Don't say that, dog. That's just so gross. That's so gross. Drew Hines said, Fury shot his load. In the first fight, the man is walking around on borrowed time. He said, what's your prediction? You're usually right, 6-round Wilder knockout. No, man, I got it. I got a decision for Deontay Wilder. Because I don't buy this idea that that Deontay Wilder can't win a decision. And I'm not going to pick a knockout because I think Tyson Fury is going to try to avoid that shit at all costs. But if he's hurt, this ankle injury hurt thing, that's not a big deal. He got an ankle. I don't know what the thing that makes me funny about him is he doesn't have a herpes on his lip. That's a busted lip. That shit goes clear down the middle of his lip. So either, it cracked because he's still on that pipe and it dried his lips out, or he got busted in the lip. And he's got sunglasses on. Why are you wearing sunglasses? You know what I mean? He's got a sunglass and a big hood on. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I don't, what are you doing? What's that about? That made me look a little funny. And his body language is off, but TJ Sports Talk said, my prediction, pain. Amen. But let's get on this, dog. The PBC needs to buy Top Rank. That would be the shit, dog. Tyson Fury is sick. He has a cold sore. That is not a cold sore, dude. That is a cut on his lip. He might have a cold sore. A cold sore is usually in the corner of your mouth on the top of your lip. That's a cut through the lip. It's a cut through the lip. It's not a cold sore. That's a cut. That's a slice in his lip. Like it's chapped or something. Iconic Cass said Wilder wins more rounds this fight, more patient. He switches up his jab patterns and set up the right hand. I hope so, man. I hope so. Y'all still voting. Y'all still voting for herpes. But man, seriously, man, Bob Arum does need to sell. He does need to sell Top Rank. Go ahead and get out of here, dog. Keep your money right, because you got to be taking L's, homie. You got to be taking L's, dude. Oh, do they? I've never had a cold sore. So Corey H, I'll go with what you say, because I've never had a cold sore. So I don't know. It's funny. I've never had a cold sore. And I know other people get them. Like my wife will get a cold sore every once in a while. Man, what's going on? Anthony Johnson said, Cecilia Brækhus, baby. Yes, sir. Oh, Corey H said, I'm not the expert. You're not the cold sore expert? No, I know my wife is more susceptible to getting a cold sore every once in a while. Like she'll get eczema, she'll get a cold sore. That's just, every couple winters she gets a cold sore. So, but I've never had a cold sore. Knock on wood. I've never had a cold sore. I'll take it though. You know what I mean? I'll take it. DAZN has to merge with Top Rank for what? They are direct competitors, man. There's something called an assignment. I don't even know how that would work. I guess Fox and ESPN are competitors too, but he really could sell those guys contracts out. Like, I don't know what, and maybe the brand and the library, what all that's worth, but said Dana White will buy Top Rank, in my opinion. Maybe. I'd like to see PBC get their hands on them fighters. Like, hey man, I'll buy a couple of your assets from you. I'll buy some assets. Let's buy your Terrence Crawford. I'll get your Terrence Crawford contract. Let me buy that Teofimo Lopez contract off you. Let me buy that Shakur. Let me buy that Shakur Stevenson off you. You know what I mean? Who else we want? Let me get that Navrati competent. Let me get that Navrati off you. Like that. Let me get that lightweight division off you. You can keep big fat baby Miller. You can keep that, dog. You can keep big baby Miller. We don't want big baby Miller. You can keep Pulev. You can keep Usyk. Keep Usyk. Man, what is wrong with Usyk? This dude is breaking down, huh? Talk about losing. He said, yes, sir. The raid the pantry. You got that right. I thought you said, yeah, panty raid. Snatch that nigga's drawers. Give me that shit. I'll take that. But mighty funny, huh? What happened? Wasn't it? Hey, did the PBC ever sell? Somebody asked me. Yeah, hey, they already had Beterbiev. But yeah, go get Beterbiev back. Beterbiev probably wants to come back home anyway. Much love in that super chat, box fan. Fanon, you abuse drugs that long, you'll eventually break down. Yeah, you got that right. That is the truth, homie. Al Heyman can buy it, keep it a separate entity, and make the best fights. Come on, Al. I mean, why make it? No, you shut that shit down, homie. You shut that down. Shut that down. Close the door. Rebrand the boxing archive, dog. What's Rick Glazer? Rick Glazer lying about what, World Reader? What's Rick Glazer lying about? Rick Glazer, boy. That was another one, dog. I love Twitter, man. I love Twitter. I wasted so much time on Twitter, man. I waste so much because Twitter is unproductive. Man, I had a conversation with that dude, man. What did that dude try to convince? What did that dude try to say? I can't remember what it was. What is he trying to convince me of? Oh, that boxers are taxed 30%. Boxers are taxed 30% on their earnings. Foreign boxers are taxed 30% on their earnings. No, they're not. The agent is taxed 30% of the purse that they would pay them. There's a difference. The agent is taxed. The IRS goes to the agent and says, "Where's my money? Oh, you're going to pay. You receive his purse. Give me my money." And they ask for it in the form of a tax called a withholdings tax, right? They tax you to withhold from them. But the actual boxer is not taxed 30%. He files his taxes, and once he files his taxes, the IRS says, "Oh, you have been credited X amount of dollars because your agent paid the withholdings tax." And now we're going to reduce your taxable income by the amount that we taxed them. You might think that's a distinction with a difference, a distinction without a difference, but it is a distinction. But it is a distinction, nonetheless. Cornballs. He said unconstitutional cooperative arrangement. No, they have the right to the federal government has the right to impose taxes. That is not unconstitutional. No. That is very constitutional. Very constitutional. Now I suck at constitution. I suck at constitutional law because it's got a lot of stuff. Like I suck at it. Like that's one area that I was like I actually no, I didn't even fall asleep. I just didn't understand it. Like I had a friend that I took constitutional law at the same time. It was a friend of mine. We studied the same thing, everything, did the same thing. This dude got a way better grade every time, because it just didn't click for me. Just didn't click for me. But it would have clicked for me better if I had thought about the Constitution as a contract between the government and its citizens in exchange for certain protections. You will give up as consideration certain rights, right? Certain rights and privileges. So in essence, the Constitution is a contract between an entity known as the federal government and its citizens. And also it's written along with another contract, which is between the state and the citizens of that state. And they have certain provisions in there to deal with conflicts between the two agreements. But essentially, dude, they're contract. It's a contract, or it at least operates like it that way. No, patent law was it's an elective. Instead of patent law, I took federal income tax and flamed out. I should have taken patent. Instead, I took like international. I want to know, what did I do? I took, it's not a patent law is not an elective. Like there's just like regular school, there's electives in that. So after your first year, like you have constitutional law, torts, property, civil liberties, torts, contracts, property, constitutional law, legal writing, and there might be another one in there. So you do that for your first year, and then maybe you have certain electives, like certain things you have to do, like you have to have what do you call them, like internships, or you have to do some type of internships, and then you have to have a certain number of hours after that. But at a certain point after your first year, you really get to move into things that are more your specialty. I think you also have to take like corporations. You also have to take evidence. I'm sorry, you got to take evidence. You got to take. Yeah, I forgot evidence. Evidence is another one that you have to take. You have to take criminal law too. Got to take criminal law, torts, evidence 1, evidence 2, if I remember correctly. It's been a long ass time though. Man, the Cali Nigga Sports Entertainment said Twitter is fun and a great place to troll people. Go after blue check marks and discuss a range of topics. Yeah. I it's cool, man. I believe in giving people a place to troll me though, because you're not welcome here. Like, we're not going to do it here. You come with that shit, the wrenches are going to bop you upside the head without a doubt. You're not going to make it out. Just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm always stealing BFTB's line, but it really is a graveyard. Like, it's a troll graveyard, but you get put in there right away. Like, it's on site over here with that. You come with corniness, it's on site. Bert from Article said, powerful show for non. God, creator, bless your wisdom. And thank you, man. No problem, man. Thank you. Thank you all every day for listening to me. I really do appreciate it, man. For now, why do you block your trolls? Even 78 stopped blocking? Well, one, I'm not 78. And I don't know that 78 stopped blocking people. I doubt that. But I don't like to deal with them. I like to talk to people that I like. If I don't like you, I don't want to talk to you. It's not complicated. I don't want to deal with you. You don't make me happy, okay? And if you got told, I have a tendency to really go in. I have a tendency to let that distract me. So you just have to go. Like, goodbye. Oh, what's a damn lie? We slapped trolls in 78. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I mean, dude, I'm gonna see the fact that he said even 78. I know what that's about. You said even 78. What do you mean? Like 78 is like the lowest measurement of somebody that deals with trolls? It's when you say even 78, it is an insult to 78. It's like anybody could pass this test, even you. That's an insult. When you hear even this person, it's somebody that is insulting the person when they say even. So right there, I'm like, you're a troll. You got to go. You know what I mean? Somebody let me know if that makes sense. Because I'm very literal. I'm very literal when I read things. I take it literally. I'm not going to guess I'm looking at the words you write. And I'm like, if you wrote it, I'm going to assume you meant it. Okay. When you say even, and I saw another guy with that same, he made that same writing pattern the other day. He probably did get blocked because he said even. Just use that in the sense with somebody else. Oh man, everybody deserves to be loved, even you. Everybody has the right to food, even that dude. You know what I mean? Greg White said, I took pharmaceutical jurisprudence and contract law as electives. Dude, I love contracts. Love them. Love the course. I read textbooks for fun. I read the textbooks for fun. I really just wish I could spend more time studying it. Like, love it. Tax law, hate it. Like, hate it. But anyway, it is what it is. Look, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. Yeah, I mean, that's just not coded. You can't hide it. You really can't hide it. It's very difficult for you to write something and somebody not get your feeling out of it. Because words are meant to describe, words are meant to share feelings. You have to be very, very, very precise and deliberate to make your writing be neutral. And there's a lot of people that can be neutral, but even then, you can get a sense of what their feelings are behind it. Behind the, if not the pleasantries, the lack of incendiary language. But anyway, it is what it is. I didn't talk about boxing too much today, man. I'm so nervous about this Deontay Wilder fight. I really want to win. I really want him to win, but I know Tyson Fury is the real deal, and anything can happen in boxing. And you do have that shady situation in boxing, dog, where cats get the decision and they don't really deserve it because of certain stuff. You know what I mean? And it makes me worried, and I worry about that because I know that is a real thing. So I do want Deontay Wilder to win this fight because I want his journey to continue. But let's not get it confused. He's already won. Okay? You cannot paint that man as a failure anymore. That boat has left. That boat has left. Okay? Anyway. Freddie Leon said, I got water by hand by Haymaker KO. Yeah, man. But hey, it is what it is, though. Look, man, much love to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Anthony Johnson, man. Cali Enigma, my man, Box Facts, Mahari Nation. I think I make sure I get Mahari Nation. BFTB has a high tolerance for trolls, not Fanon. He'll school you with intellectual facts that give trolls major headaches. Yeah, but then he'll slap you with an ad hominem and just beat you to death about the building with it. I love it. Anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.